Well, hello, this is Rochelle and welcome to my channel. Today I'm using a His Palette printable called Sweeter Than Honey, and I'm just going to lay down a simple kind of background in my Psalter. This is a ESV Psalms journal, and it's got space to journal on each alternative page. So I'm using my gelatos. You know I love my gelatos, and I'm putting them on a piece of plastic packaging and spritzing it with water, mixing it with my finger, then turning it around onto my page and smushing. Yes, it's an official term. Smushing it onto my page so that it creates this kind of marbled background, and I love it. I'm going to just heat set it and dry it so that it is properly on the page and cured, if you want to call it that, so that I can then take my pen and write over it. So there has been a lot of criticism on gelatos that you can't write over it because it ruins your felt tip pen. Here you see I'm doing it, and I'll be writing in a minute, and it does not ruin your pen if you heat set your gelatos. So I did just draw a border outline, and I used some zigzag lines in certain places to make it look like stitching. And there you go, you've got some faux stitching as a border without having to have a sewing machine. Because yes, I went through all of my matric year with staples in my pants because I did not know how to sew. So, sideline note, I just love this printable. I love the colors, I love the sentiments, I love the ideas, I love everything about this printable. And if you go get yours, you can get 10% off using my code Rochelle10 and pick up this printable. It's a 2-page printable. It's got the verses on, actually various verses that you can then use to journal, and I am journaling in Psalm 119 verse 103, which says that his words are sweeter than honey. So David's speaking about how much he loves the law of the Lord and how that law has protected him and brought him to understanding. Now, if I had the Glad, I think it's press and seal, something like that, I could have just put down my clusters and put the press and seal over and lifted it up and stuck everything with glue and stuck it down. But as it is, I don't have that. So I am sticking it down from the very back to the very front. So you want to obviously stick that which you want in the background first, and then stick that which you want in the foreground last. I did also do a kind of split on the little red teacup so that it would fold my page easier, and I'm just placing that either side of the fold, and very easy. I did do the scribbles around the words to cut them out easier, and it just gives it a border as well, matches with the other border, and then using that to stick it down. And then here's where I'm using my Pitt artist pen, my prized Pitt artist pen, and writing over my gelatos without issue because of the heat setting. So firstly, water sets gelatos, and then secondly, heat sets gelatos. So if you ever wonder why you can't write over your gelatos, you can if you heat set it. So there you go. So I'm just writing some of the verses down that really stood out to me on this page, and kind of bringing it in between the cupcakes and sweet treats and coffee and all of that stuff. Taking my big brush marker and putting it onto that same packaging, adding some water, and then using that as splatters, and using that same big brush marker to then ink up my date stamp and stamp my date. I am just going to use some stickles on these sugar cubes. Stickles is a glitter glue, so it's got all the sparkly goodies. It does take a while to dry, so I wouldn't close my page immediately, but once it is dry, it does add that added sparkle and brings the sugar cubes to life. I wish the picture could show that, but nonetheless, I know it's there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you grab your printable and join in with me, and I see you again soon.